Good Sunday evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Frank with Trifecta Sports Podcast. I'm here with one of our co-hosts, David Hayes, all the way from Quincy, Illinois. And Coop will be joining us here shortly. We don't know what's going on with him, but, he'll be on here as soon as he can. We got a pretty loaded show today, to be honest with you. Kentucky fans had a heartbreak a few hours ago. I don't know if anybody out there would like to talk about that, but we could talk about it. Also, and free agency in the NFL in the last few weeks or last week, I can't keep up. I can't keep up with it all.
Electric.
This is one of the greatest times to be an NFL football fan. But we're going to talk about the NFL free agency moves. Give us some NCAA tournament reactions, maybe. I don't know. But without further ado, alrighty. Sunday afternoon, NCAA tournament second round of 32.
Mm-hmm.
Kicked off yesterday, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah. Saturday, Sunday.
A couple of big news. Fairleigh Dickinson and FAU is playing currently. Dave, you got an update on the score?
Yeah, FAU's up 56-54 with 8 minutes left. So that is, I think that's
what you call a mid-major barn burner in the round of 32 in the NCAA tournament.
And if I remember right, I don't think a 16 seeds ever went dancing in the Sweet 16. So this would be a first.
Maybe not. Who knows? Who's not going to be going to the Sweet 16, and that is the University of Kentucky Wildcats, and Duke, and North Carolina. I mean, there's a lot of other teams. Don't get me wrong.
And Kansas, the Blue Bloods are out.
Kansas is out as well.
I think everybody knew that, though. If we saw anything about this year, it was that it wasn't going to be a blue blood.
No, and it's going to be it's going to be like a Houston, or it's going to be like this might be Gonzaga's year, or Arkansas. Somebody like that's going to win.
I was talking to my brother about that a while back, and it was like it's so wide open. You kind of have to go with the best player. And I think there's two that stand out. One is Brandon Miller at Alabama, and the other is Marcus Sasser, if he's healthy. Those are the two best players in the country. And I think those probably before the tournament, those were the teams I would have leaned towards. I wouldn't pick anybody this year. Yeah. But I think they're the two that still look the best. They're the one seeds that are left, right?
Yeah. And here's another thing, too, is like from the get-go, everybody's like, this is literally going to be March Madness. And it's not let us down yet. And, as Kentucky fans, we are not very happy with the way it ended. But if, we kind of believe we were going to win every game, and we kind of believe we're supposed to believe that, we're the favorite. But, we weren't favored in the game. It was a 3 seed. Kansas State is freaking good. Their guards took over the game and made plays at the end while ours didn't. Justin said Bama's going to win it all. I'm cool with. I mean, that's. I can see that happening. I wouldn't be surprised if freaking Fairleigh Dickinson makes it to the Final Four. That's the kind of year we're having. Xavier's another good team. Xavier, quick shout out, has 2 kids from Kentucky on there. Adam Kunkel and Kiki Tandy. 2 big players on that roster.
Kunkel and Tandy.
Yeah. Cal missed out on those guys. Now they're rolling deep on Xavier's team. I guess Xavier's a 3 seed, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Taking another team to the Sweet 16, not named Kentucky. You kind of see that in-state recruiting taking a little turn, though, because we got Reed Shepherd. We have offers out on Travis Perry. There's a couple other names within the state that should be getting some looks from the University of Kentucky, but maybe aren't. But you see these Kentucky kids go to those, schools like Xavier and even Louisville sometimes. You saw it with, Chris Lofton going to Tennessee. There's some talent in the state of Kentucky for basketball, and we need to start getting those kids on Kentucky's team. We got Darius Miller, Dominic Hawkins, those kind of guys, but
yeah, but I don't know. Everybody you just rattled off, I can't speak for the Xavier kids, but like they were all really good role players.
Yeah, I mean that's what these kids are. I mean, that's what they would be.
We had the CJ Frederick this year. I mean, no offense to him. I mean, he was just hurt the entire time. He's been hurt all 5 years of college, I feel like. But I don't think it's been a really long time since somebody from Kentucky was like a Sasser or a Brandon Miller.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what Kentucky's missing. I mean, Shibwe is a rock, but we saw it today. He's got to handle the ball. Wasn't the rock. A lot of turnovers. But, I mean, the way I look at it is Cal used to dominate Chicago. I mean, AD, Tyler Ulis are the two names that come to the top of my head. Derrick Rose. Like, kind of need to get back into Chicago. It's been a while since we had a Chicago kid.
That's the thing too. Like, and we've talked about the NIL on this show a lot. Recruiting is harder than it's ever been. You can't just go on the name on the front of the jersey alone and the culture of your team. It's what are you offering the kid both on the field and off to get him to come to your school. There's only so much you can do without somebody else who has more resources or has used less of their resources that they are allotted to come get that kid. And we've said it on here before too. And I'll put my foot down and back my statement up 100%. The talent in high school today across the country is more even than it's ever been. Like, you have your top 10, 15 players. I think you've got the top 5 or top 6 or 7, and then everybody else. There's not really that many people that separate themselves. You don't have a Zion. You don't have an RJ Barrett. You don't have an Anthony Davis. You don't have those kids right now. But when these kids are coming into the new colleges, it takes them a minute to separate themselves. The people that are already there are just as good as they are. And just like Justin just commented, the talent gap is small. It really is. There's not a huge gap anymore. And then you add in the effort with it. You have effort and talent at the same time. Most high major D1, 5-star athletes are going to have all of that, even the 4-star athletes. So that's why you're seeing what you are right now on the NCAA tournament. You're having teams that you've never heard of do good and make noise.
But at the same time, a lot of it is, Kansas transfer, Purdue transfer, Miami transfer. Yep. Like, these were 3- and 4-star guys who didn't have the effort, who lost their spot. And, that's the whole transfer portal NIL deal. But I got to give a quick shout out to Jacob Toppin. I think he has to be the first actual college player to have a national commercial other than the Heisman.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That's a pretty cool commercial.
Pretty cool. And, that's the Kentucky difference. Like, there is no reason why we can't be going and get those guys, because our guys in the national AT&T commercial during March Madness all over screens. So pretty sweet.
Yeah, sometimes you hit on the transfers and sometimes you miss. Cal obviously hit when he got Shibwe. I would argue that he kind of hit the target when he got Toppin. Toppin wasn't Toppin when he got here. If this is his last year, I do think he still has another year remaining if he chooses to.
All 6 of them still could come back.
All of them can still come back if they choose to, because they can take their COVID year as well. But CJ Frederick is probably a bust unless he stays and gets better.
I wouldn't say.
When you lead a conference in 3-point percentage and you come here and it's very minimal, his impact. He does have injuries. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to bash the kid. I mean, he's earned the right to be here and be on this team. The injury bug did hit him a little bit, but even then, the kid couldn't play defense. He can't handle the ball. He's a catch and shoot guy. And we don't run a catch and shoot offense.
He wasn't
we don't run an offense.
That's what they tried to make him. I think he had too much. They asked too much of him as a facilitator and ball handler. I think he's capable of doing both of those things, but he's not the guy that needs to be doing it as option 1. He's not the primary ball handler type. He's a great off guard. Mm-hmm. I just don't think I don't know. The injuries held him back. He never got in a rhythm. He never got chemistry with the guys. I mean, if you miss practice, you're not going to be able to just step into a game and look like you did after 3 years in that system in Iowa.
Yeah, and it looks like his confidence throughout the year kind of lacked too. Like he started off strong. Once he hit a shot, you could just give him the ball just about every trip down the floor, and he's going to put one up. Today in the game, he made a 3, and then he didn't shoot it ever again. Didn't take another shot.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's a confidence issue or, obviously we're not running plays. We're running sort of generic sets in screens on certain things, but I don't know.
I think it's the Kentucky difference, in my opinion. I mean, I'm biased, but it's probably pretty easy going up to Iowa. I mean, Iowa wasn't really known for basketball until Luka Garza rolled through. It was National Player of the Year. I mean, Iowa doesn't have expectations. Their gym probably holds 10,000. You go to Kentucky, we're holding 25,000. You're everybody's Super Bowl. Yeah, he made that 3 today, and then their coach is probably like, don't let him shoot again. Antonio's missing. Let him shoot all day. So
that's another thing. You bring that up. But before we get into that, we've got quite a few people on here watching. If you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. That would help us out a ton. And if you have any questions about the NCAA tournament, and we're also going to get into the NFL free agency news and all the new different signings that's happened. So if you got questions, throw them in the chat. We'll include you in our conversations. So if you have a YouTube account and you're watching on Facebook, slide on over to YouTube, log in, and hit that big red subscribe button. We'd appreciate it a ton. But yeah, Antonio Reeves he picked the worst day to have his worst game. Props to him though. He didn't give up. I see Frederick takes a shot, loses confidence, doesn't shoot it again. Reeves is shooting. It wasn't falling for him.
Yeah.
And I don't care what you run, this and that. He makes 3 baskets, we win. 3 of the 20 that he shot. Yeah. I mean, this is a guy that can drop 30 on you in a minute. And he just didn't have a day. Toppin didn't have a day either.
Yeah, just plus 20 rebound margin.
Yeah. We dominated most of the game off on the boards.
But turnovers were 16-8.
Yeah, turnovers and just we shooting percentage is not good.
Yeah, which I mean that Kansas State. I mean, I can't say it enough. They played hard.
They beat everybody.
Yeah,
they have beat everybody this year.
They are not there's nothing spectacular about them. That Keontae Johnson, they were really hyping him up. I mean, he hit that dagger 3 late, but that was basically it. Their point guard who, we should have let, make all his threes. Shouldn't have mattered. But, their defense, I mean, they made Oscar's life a living hell today.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised Oscar didn't kill somebody. Normally he's throwing elbows and getting flagrants and all that. I don't know how he didn't do it today, but so I think props to Kansas State for the intensity they brought for 40 minutes.
Yeah, and I can see them, they're playing a tough Michigan State team who, knocked off the number 2 Marquette, who I thought was overrated, but that's just me. Tom Izzo's going to do Tom Izzo things. We got a question from TC. We've talked a little bit about Jacob Toppin, but I mean, other than him not showing up today to play, he's had a really good year. He's been up and down. He's not going to be the guy that's going to carry a team, but he's like an elevated role player in my opinion. He brings the energy to the team, and he's just probably the Walmart version of Lance Ware. Just a little bit more talented. Walmart being the good Walmart being the good version.
That.
Yeah, I'd say the Target version of Lance Ware.
Oh, y'all are sorry, Dave. We live in Stanton. We go to Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart's the low one here.
Yeah,
you only go to Walmart if it's 8 a.m.
Oh,
when I walk into Target, everybody there looks at me like, "Why? You're not supposed to be here.
You don't even go here." Now, I'll be honest with you. I spend more time in Dollar Generals and Family Dollars than I do Walmarts and Targets.
Yeah, that's where Lance Ware is.
That's what I was comparing him to.
Okay.
Lance Ware is one of them new Dollar Generals. Like the ones that pop up you throw a Sprite can out the window and then up pops a Dollar General. And then your Jacob Toppin is going to be your Walmart.
10, 12 years ago, when you could play two post players, Lance Ware would have been a great player.
I love Lance Ware. I love it.
But
I don't care what anybody says.
He can't get on the court because you can't play him and Oscar together. And they try it, and it doesn't work.
He doesn't have an offensive skill set at all.
He can dunk. That's it.
But he's got effort. Will Oscar come back, or is he done? His stock obviously dropped this season. Here's the thing about Oscar. He was never going to be an NBA player. He's not going to play in the NBA. He's not probably going to get drafted, if I had to guess. Oscar doesn't have – he has the effort. He has the skills. Of course, he can rebound. All those things are great, but that's not what an NBA team is looking for. They're looking for somebody that can step out, guard any position, shoot the three, and then play away from the basket. Oscar can't really do that. If he puts the ball on the ground, it's getting stolen.
Yeah. He's not getting 24 and 18 against Embiid.
No, he's not. And he's 6'9". Like you're having he's going to have to play against 7-footers with guard skill sets.
And you got to space the floor, and he can't.
It wouldn't surprise me if he tries to squeeze every little bit of life out of his college career as he can. But it also wouldn't surprise me to see him try to go pro, make a living in the G League, and then he'll end up overseas in Europe somewhere playing basketball.
He's got 3 million reasons to stay at Kentucky.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all. I think his best option is to come back. He's going to get NBA looks, but he's not going to have an NBA career, in my opinion.
In my opinion, Kaysen and Toppin are the only NBA players on the team right now.
Yeah. I agree with that.
This year, that could go.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what you're saying. Yeah.
And we've said that, months back. I would argue that Kaysen Wallace might be the only one, but
I don't know, man.
Toppin's athleticism can get him there.
He can hit an open shot.
And he can shoot.
He's going to be a 10-year vet, traded about 10 times.
Yeah.
Hopkins will find a role, but he's not ready yet.
Oh, did you see where Marquise Noel played for Cordia? Yeah, I did. I didn't know that until I saw Matt Jones's tweet right after the game. When Noel, who was the guard for Kansas State, backbreaker for the Cats all day today, 7th grade year played for Cordia. And they mentioned his older brother, Marcus, during the broadcast. And Marcus was a senior on that same Cordia team, coached by Roderick Rhodes. I'm assuming that was probably around the time we were in high school, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong. I don't know an exact year. But, yeah, he played for Cordia for 1 year. And, of course, he went back to New York. A little sarcasm from Bryce, but he said, I don't know about you guys, but I love lineups with Collins and Ware and Oscar and Ware together. I could just hear Bryce's voice right now in my head saying this exact statement, and it cracks me up because I know how happy he is for that to happen. TC with another question. He says, do you think our top 2 players for next year's team will stay with Kentucky, or do you think they'll drop out and transfer? I can see a couple transfers from this team.
Who is he saying our top 2 players are?
Our top 2 players are not currently on the team, I'll tell you that. It'll be somebody coming in. I don't know who Cal can go after in the transfer portal. Obviously, that hasn't happened yet. There are some names in the transfer portal, but that is a wild west of things happening. As soon as the season's over with, you'll see people start transferring. I can see a few people transferring off of this team. It wouldn't surprise me if Damian Collins went elsewhere. Just because I don't know. He could probably drop down to like a MAC school or an American Conference and probably succeed at a different school there. But again, he's made strides. He just can't get on the court. I don't think he's getting on the court next year either.
What Cal's got to be careful about is, I don't know if you all saw it, but Sky Clark, one time Kentucky commit, went to Illinois, quit. Now he's headed to Louisville. Kenny Payne was the guy for however many years at UK. He probably has a handful of those current guys that he was in on the recruiting at some point.
Yeah.
So, I think Cal's got to watch out to make sure, he's not facing Damian Collins next year in late December.
Yeah, I can see that. It wouldn't surprise.
He has the potential to lead the country in blocks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That one they got called for goaltending today was a block. That wasn't.
I agree with that too.
Yeah. I said Hopkins earlier. I meant Collins. I think he has an NBA. I think he has an NBA career in him. It's going to be in a Winion Gabriel, Bryce Johnson. He's the 12th man on the roster, but he gets minutes as a lanky, multi-positional defender. But I think he can play for several years.
In and out of 10-day contracts, two-way deals and things like that. TC said, "Is this his last question? What do y'all think the future is for Cal in Kentucky?" I think Cal stays as long as he wants to. I've said that multiple times. People on the social medias of the world want him fired. You think you're kind of split down the middle, whether or not you want him fired or want him to stay. Quite frankly, you can want one way or the other. The truth is he's not going anywhere. Like, nobody's going to get rid of him. And you're dumb if you think that's a possibility.
Yeah, the only way is if Texas buys him out.
That's the only way he is not the head coach in Kentucky is when he wants to leave. That's the only way.
He's got that contract, baby.
People just need to figure that out as soon as possible. Whether you like him here or not, or whether you want him here or not, the dude isn't going to hang around until he decides to leave. So
he doesn't have it anymore, though, man.
I don't think he does. I think he's done, but
I think he's got one more. Unfortunately, he's going to do the Coach K. He's got the number one recruiting class. DJ Wagner, Reed Shepherd, all those guys coming in. He's going to give it one last ride. But I mean, I
hope that's what he does.
How do we have 5 fouls, minute and a half left, and we just let them run the clock down with 10 seconds left on the shot clock before we foul them?
Because they give up.
Like, if we're going to foul right away. We have to foul twice. I don't know. That one fired me up. And that was on Cal. Like, why are we not fouling? It's only a 5-point game.
They quit. That's the status of today's world. When stuff gets going, you just quit.
Real quick on Noel at Cordia. He played in 2012, 2013 with his brother, as you said, Frank.
One was a
senior. Marcus was a senior. Marquise was a 7th grader. And Marquise averaged 4 points a game more than his senior brother on that team.
So, destined for greatness.
Was he 5'9" in 7th grade?
Hots aren't listed, but he was shooting 33% from 3 as a 7th grader for him.
That's pretty good.
Holla. Yeah, Leanne asked if he played for Roderick Rhodes. Yeah, that's when he did play for Rod Rhodes back then.
12, 13.
Coach Roderick Rhodes was making some noise in the 14th region back in the day when we were in high school, man.
He made a lot of noise paying all those kids come in.
Yeah, but Keith Hall probably refereed some of his games. Probably remembers him. Justin, we're well aware he can't coach, but we don't make the decisions, buddy.
Mitch does.
He's not going anywhere. Get over it. Until he decides to quit, he's not going. It don't matter who wants him gone. He ain't leaving.
Ooh.
I mean, this is also a true statement, too. If Reeves didn't put up an offer, we're having a different conversation. You don't like Cal much either. But Cal's not the one going 0 for 18 from the field. I'm pretty sure if Cal did put a jersey on, he might make one basket. Anyway.
I don't know, man. What do you play, like D3 Pittsburgh or something?
He put it Clarion. That's a D1. What kind of face was that?
I thought that was a Pokemon.
Clarion?
That's a college?
Yeah. You're talking about Flareon. That's the Eevee's evolution. The flame one. Hey, Justin, I'm gonna tell you this one more time. Doesn't matter how many wins he has the last 5 years. We're well aware. They've sucked. They're going to suck. But he is not leaving. And nobody's going to fire him until he wants to go home. That's just the bottom line. You don't have to like it. But it's the truth.
Conversation on here as well. Who are you going to get?
I mean, there's all kinds of people out there. We can get whoever we want.
But who is better? Who would you rather have?
I had a bad thought today. I'm not proud of it.
Tell us, Dave.
Sean Miller.
I don't hate that. I don't hate it.
I cussed him so much at Arizona, but
I don't hate it.
Dang, you look good in Xavier. He's got the track record.
Justin said, "Give me his number. He'll fire him." Hey, everybody knows where he lives. Just go, drop a letter in his mailbox. Whew, Christian, that's a long message, buddy. Let me see if I can read through it. Couple of things that he said is true. Something we've already talked about. Not getting drafted. We agree with that.
Oh, no. Do not. Bruce Pearl is not allowed in this conversation. Anybody but him.
Jay Wright, we talk about Jay Wright a lot, but I don't know that he's going to come out of what he's doing. It'd take a special job, and we have a special job. Sampson isn't leaving Houston. Pearl may leave Auburn, but doubt it. Sean Miller, Scott Drew. We talked about Miller. Dave doesn't like that idea. That he likes that idea, but
Scott Drew would be the top of my list probably, but he's not leaving Baylor either.
He broke my bracket.
You can't get mad at that, Dave.
Yeah, can. I had Baylor in the Elite Eight. What's he doing?
Yeah, Oscar agrees with Scott Drew. That's a good pick. I don't know. You could say somebody wouldn't leave their current position, but when it's Kentucky, it's a little different. You can have it made somewhere else, and when Kentucky comes calling, you have to listen. I mean, you don't have a choice.
What if it was like Penny Hardaway? Just go do a splash hiring. Take the Memphis guys again.
Why not just bring Deion in? He gets everybody. They can figure it out.
I want Deion Sanders as our new head basketball coach.
Actually, just let him have football, basketball, and baseball. Let's see what the man can do.
Hey, he's played two of them.
I know.
Coaching basketball, I guarantee you he could get him motivated. That's for sure. Christian, Brad Stevens would be great. He's still young, but it's really hard for me to fathom a guy leaving a front office job in the NBA to come coach college basketball. He doesn't have to recruit. All he has to do is, he's organizing and finagling signings and free agents in the NBA. Recruiting is a different story. You're talking to not only the child, but you're talking to mommies and daddies as well. Nate Oates. How about this, guys? What about Musselman?
I don't think he'd do it.
From Arkansas.
He's had some
crazy
good runs, man.
He's a good coach. I like him. Did you see him rip his shirt off the other day?
Yeah.
After they beat him. I thought that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like, what? Put your shirt back on, dude. I don't know. Why is that a thing when people get like excited? They're like, I'm going to rip my shirt off. Like, why? Not one time. It might be just my body type, but not one time have I ever wanted to just rip my shirt off for no reason because I'm excited.
I don't think Nate Oates in the blue vest or whatever they call those old people that sit in the front rows. I don't think that would work.
If it wasn't for those people, this world would never even turn. Wouldn't survive in Lex. He'd be drunk 24/7. Billy G all over again. Yeah, y'all remember that? You think you want Cal gone until we get another Billy G in here? That's a disaster.
Watched the Arlington State game this year.
How'd that go, Coop?
I don't even remember.
They made the tournament last year.
Exactly. Billy G probably don't remember it neither.
They're not eligible yet. They just went D1.
That's how
so stupid.
That's how Fairleigh Dickinson is even in the tournament to begin with. They did not win their conference tournament. They finished second. They lost the championship game, but they got the bid
home here in a minute
because the team that beat them is brand new, transitioning to Division I, and they're not.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, this is sure. I'm surprised he don't take his shirt off during the games. But yeah, their Fairleigh Dickinson got in because of a technicality. But anyway, Whew. Nate Oates would rock Lexington, Jared Crow says. I mean, there's a lot of good opinions here. I agree with a lot of them. I'm
problem is,
I'm not going
we're going to have John Calipari next year.
Bro says, Frank, after you win the region this year, can you take your shirt off?
No, it's not. I want district. I want district.
No.
Let's lower this bar. I want to see it off.
If you win on Wednesday of next week, no, I'm not doing that.
Do it. I want to see it.
I do have something planned. I will say that.
Oh no, you can't plan it.
It's planned. It's planned. I've already got it in my head what I'm going to do. You know, we make it to the region championship. We win. I've got a plan.
Can't plan it, man. Can't plan it. Do it Wednesday. Do it Wednesday. Do it Wednesday.
Justin says Greg Coldiron. Hey, he took the Powell County Pirates to the promised land back in 2003. He could take the Cats to where they need to be. I don't know. Any other guys?
I got nothing on that.
Well, we're done. NCAA tournament, you know, obviously it's the greatest time in the world. We practiced today outside and we just hustling up so we can get back to watch the game. You know, a lot of people revolve, you know, they schedule their lives around the NCAA tournament and March Madness, and that's awesome. You know, it's right up there with me with, you know, playoff football. It's awesome. But anyway, I think we should switch gears a little bit. If you have any other, you know, Kentucky news or Kentucky comments, that's fine. You can throw them in the chat. We'll read them. We'll pop them up if we like them. But we're going to switch gears here to the NFL free agency. This is Coop's wheelhouse. He hasn't talked much, but this is kind of what he likes to talk about. If you are big on the NFL, you know, hang out in here. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, Trifecta Sports Podcast, subscribe now, please. NFL free agency. Let's talk about the Carolina Panthers racking up on players. Signed Adam Thielen today. That's a big deal, fellas. All they need is a quarterback. Other than Andy Dalton.
I think they need more than a quarterback.
Well, but I mean, they're well on their way. That division sucks.
They're
making some moves. They're making moves. They're putting in some effort. Let's put it that way.
The Saints got Jamal Williams.
That's great. I love Jamal Williams.
I think the Saints are preseason NFC South favorites right now.
Well, yeah. There's nobody.
You put us on a team where NFC. We're the favorites in the NFC South, Dave.
I don't know. I mean, Derek Carr, Michael Thomas, Chris Olave.
It's David Carr. Excuse me.
It's Derek.
That's an inside joke, guys. Just so you know.
It's Derek, Frank.
I know.
I think Thielen. He's had really good years. He's not better than DJ Moore.
No, he's not.
They just shipped him out. Like, how can you ship out DJ Moore and get excited about bringing Thielen in?
Saving money, baby.
They got 7 years older and a lot slower.
And a lot cheaper.
Well, in two different positions. I'm pretty sure DJ is the outside guy and Thielen's more of a slot guy.
Yeah.
So.
Jamal Williams was a nice pickup.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought I knew what's his name and Dan Campbell. I knew he loved Jamal, so I'm surprised they let him go.
Well, I heard. I think it was a tweet of his quote. I didn't actually hear it come out of his mouth, but he didn't really like the offer they gave him. Felt like it was way too low and made him feel like he wasn't appreciated for what he'd done for him, and that's kind of why he jumped ship. Which I don't blame him. Packers are crashing and burning. I'm loving every minute of it. Not gonna lie.
Are they though?
I don't know. I mean, they might be better off without Rodgers. That's true. It doesn't necessarily mean Rodgers is bad, and him going to the Jets is probably going to be a good thing for the NFL. But sometimes getting rid of a player like that makes your team better.
But what if
you lose a better player, but your team gets better?
What if Rodgers is Favre and Jordan Love is Rodgers?
I mean, that'd be good for the league. But we were texting on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday's when Rodgers goes on McAfee. So we were texting most of the day Tuesday as leading up to like that 1 o'clock, time when Rodgers hops on when he was going to make the decision. Coop would be like, dude, there's 130,000 people watching this. And then like 10 minutes later, it's like, man, there's 250,000 people watching this. And then like 10 minutes later, it's like, man, there's 450,000 people watching this. It got up to over half a million. You got 500,000 people at 1 o'clock. And all three of us being one of them.
And this isn't an ESPN special. This was YouTube.
No, this is a YouTube podcast.
It's a live stream.
It's similar. Obviously, we're very small. Like very small. But
speak for yourself, Frank.
But Pat McAfee, I mean, it's a video podcast is what it is. That's what we're doing right now. It's just a bunch of guys that were good friends got together and started the podcast. One of them happened to be an NFL punter one day and happened to already have all the connections. But anyway, yeah, that's a big deal. Chad said comments on the Bears trade, specifically talk about the number 1 pick. We hit on this last week, but I think the Bears won, don't you think?
100%. And I'm telling you, if I'm the Bears, I'm buying a lottery ticket at 9, and I'm still taking Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
Let the chips fall where they may.
The only way
is because he might fall to him anyway, and that might have been who they were taking at number 1.
Yeah,
exactly.
But we can't say the Bears have won this trade. You know, they did. You know, on paper, 4 draft picks, DJ Moore. But if the Panthers end up with Tom Brady, you know, 20 years down the road, you can say, man, the Panthers got it right. But like,
how often is that going to happen, though?
We don't know. We got to wait for 20 years down the road. But I'm just saying, I mean, short term, yeah, the Bears picked their pocket. But there's a chance.
You've had quarterbacks come out and you know they're great. They're number 1 consensus picks, right? Like Burrow. Everybody knew that's the best quarterback in the draft. He's going 1-on-1.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, same way. We don't even know who the best quarterback is in this draft. No. None of them are the consensus number 1 player. None of them are the consensus 2 player. It was Carter. It was Anderson. It was here's these 4 quarterbacks, maybe 3, maybe 5.
It's 5 now.
Depends on who's ranking them.
But
like, you can't say
does that matter?
If you're giving up that 1 pick, if somebody's going to pay that premium for their opinion of the number 1 guy, yeah, I think it matters a ton because you don't know. Like the scouts don't even have from one to the next. It's Stroud, it's Young, it's Levis because of the arm strength, it's Richardson because of the athleticism. Like there's not a guy coming out this year that fits the mold of what we've seen in the past as this is the consensus quarterback. This is the guy we're tanking for Tua even. Like that was the thing.
When was the last time a team that tanked for somebody, it actually worked out? You know, Brady, 7th round pick. Mahomes, he was the 3rd or 4th quarterback taken off the board. Rodgers was all the way to 25th. You know, like
a lot of Burrow and Lawrence are your most recent ones that were the consensus top guys, and they took both their teams to the playoffs in the second year.
Yeah, but they haven't. I would say the measuring stick though is Super Bowls.
Right, they're still on rookie deals. They've got plenty of time to get their Super Bowls.
But I'm just saying. Though in history though, you don't really have that where the 1-1 actually hit. You know,
even more reason
not for a quarterback. Not for a quarterback standpoint. Here's the thing about quarterbacks: is you take the wrong quarterback and put him in the right situation, they can still be successful. You could take the right quarterback, put him in the wrong situation, and they're out of the league in 3 years. Baker Mayfield, for example. Probably should not have been a number 1 overall pick. He went number 1 overall, went to a bad situation, played decent for a couple of years, and now he's going to be a journeyman in the NFL for the rest of his career. He's never going to land in the spot consistently. And, you know, we've talked all kinds of crap about Baker Mayfield already.
His combine stats were stupid.
I mean, he was good. Don't get me wrong. But, like, it was a surprise to see him number 1 overall. Like, they didn't expect it.
I guess what I'm saying is if you go back in time and look, if the Bears had made this trade in the year that Burrow was coming out, we would all say the Bears lost that trade.
Yeah. 100%.
If they made this trade in the year Lawrence is coming out, we would say they probably lost that trade. Let's see
knowing what they could have had. Yes.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not that high on Trevor Lawrence right now. I know he had a good year. They got to the playoffs, but AFC South was bad.
Yeah.
And that helps.
It does. But, jury's still out on that one. The fact of the matter is, I think it's without a doubt, Bears won the trade, and I think you're going to see that over time. Unless one of these 3 or 4 quarterbacks coming out of the league miraculously has a great career, which is very possible. We see this all the time. People coming out of the college ranks and, maybe looked down upon or looked over, have great NFL careers. It happens all the time. Kurt Warner, prime example. Super Bowl winning quarterback. But anyway, Bryce says Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to the Lions for $8 million is a steal. Had to agree with you on that one. Chad. Yeah, that's another signing. I couldn't even keep up with him all this week. I mean, you can name a bunch of them. Talk about Baker Mayfield. Leanne asked if we saw his statue at Oklahoma. I have not. How funny is it? Is he grabbing his nuts like he did on the sideline? Trubisky was second overall. Not sure if it was him or the situation. I think now that you see Trubisky play in other teams, you can realize it was him.
I don't know.
Dave.
The Bears were bad.
They were terrible.
And he took them. He was a double doink away from Super Bowl.
That's great.
So what you guys just said about Burrow and Lawrence, we could say, yeah, he got him. He got him to the NFC Championship. He did what he was supposed to do to get them to the Super Bowl. He had that success. I mean, he did it. He took him there. It wasn't pretty, but he was a quarterback.
So you're saying that early career success for Burrow, Trubisky, and Lawrence, it's all comparable. That's the point you're making.
I wouldn't compare it to Burrow. I would say Burrow is, proven aspect. But I would say Lawrence and Trubisky, I would kind of put them in the same boat. Like, I wouldn't say Lawrence looked great this year. Yeah, he had some good throws, but Trubisky had some good throws to Allen Robinson. So I would put those two in the same boat right now.
That's interesting. That's
BRB.
Interesting.
He sucked. Justin said Charlie Batch was better than Mitch. Charlie Batch.
Oh.
That's awesome. While you guys are, handling the rest of the show, I'm trying to get this picture of Baker Mayfield's statue up around here to show people.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it. I like what the Cowboys are doing right now.
Yeah, that was a good trade.
Yeah.
Stephon Gilmore, Brandon Cooks.
Cooks.
Big name guys.
Pretty
not going after OBJ. That's the smartest thing Jerry's ever done.
And he was itching at. He was trying to get it. He wanted that bad because he wants the attention.
Oh yeah.
All right, y'all ready for this? My first reaction was like, "Oh, that ain't bad." And then I got to looking.
That don't look Manziel.
That don't look like Baker Mayfield.
Is that's a Baker statue?
Yeah.
That's
not Baker. It has the headband number 6.
That's not Baker Mayfield.
I'm with you. I think somebody's messing with us.
That's on there. I promise you. That's a thing. Anyway.
Does Jalen Hurts have a statue?
I don't think so. Let's look.
That's just a joke. I'm just kidding, Frank.
Yeah, this is legit. I'm telling you. I don't know who that guy is, but I mean,
wow.
Go Baker, I guess. I don't know. It's pretty bad. I don't understand. It's not that hard to make a statue look like somebody. There's people in the world that can do that. There's some talented people. Anyway. Man, the Bengals. Bengals. Go ahead, Cooper.
One move that I hate by the Bears is that deal they gave Tremaine Edmonds as an off-ball linebacker. 4 years, like $70 million.
That seems like a lot of money.
You just traded Roquan Smith, who was a better off-ball linebacker, like the same age, mid-season.
I don't know. The Bears are making moves, though. PJ Walker as a backup, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Robert Tonyan, tight end.
What's up with the tight end movement? It's been insane.
Oh, they're everywhere. Gesicki,
Waller. You had Hawkinson last season. Like,
did you hear about Waller? Like why he got traded?
About the wedding thing?
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
No, they said that McDaniels or the GM or whoever leaked that they were getting married. They were like keeping it hush hush, and that Waller was furious about it and he demanded the trade. I don't know, man.
Where did Waller go? Did he go to the Patriots?
Giants.
I knew it was somewhere up there. I was thinking, no way the Patriots got both of those guys.
And didn't the Raiders trade for Jonnu Smith? Who traded for Jonnu Smith?
Falcons.
Yeah, because we put him.
You were mad about that last week too.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, let's. We got the best talented, one of the most talented tight ends to ever live, and they'll never throw to him. Let's go get another one.
Vegas just got another former Patriot, but I don't remember who it was. Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, Myers. He was the first wide receiver to go.
Josh McDaniels is the most useless head coach in the league.
He's like, hey,
all he's doing is calling up Bill and be like, hey, can I get anybody from you? Is there anybody on other teams that I can pick up?
Got any more of those wide receivers, coach?
Is Mac available?
If you want him.
Well, what's the deal with Damian Harris too? Is he done? Because I saw the Patriots signed a running back.
Well, they always have a stable of backs.
They got 4 guys. They just pick whoever they want out of the 4.
I know. I don't like it, though.
Stevenson is on a younger contract, and I think he's the better back.
Yeah, he's going to be number 1 leading into next year for sure.
I got him on a lot of dynasty leagues, and I just want him to be 1-1 and just give him the ball.
I think that's where it's going, honestly. Justin, I agree with you there. Cincinnati dealt the wrong running back.
What did Mixon do?
He's all the time. He just can't keep his hands off a gun. He's all the time being investigated by police. House surrounded by police. I mean, like at some point,
this is it a Joe Mixon issue or is this a Cincinnati issue? Because this has happened in the past with players from Cincinnati. Like you've had a lot of.
You're talking about like Perfect or a woman.
You had
That's true.
Perfect. You had Pac-Man. You've had
those guys with those
history of very troublesome players. Cincinnati.
Mixon was like that before he even got there.
Yeah, they went and got him.
He had issues with Oklahoma.
Buddy.
I mean, I don't know. I like P. Ryan. I'm going to miss him. I have a feeling that he might not stick around very much longer in the league now that he's gone. And I hate to see that because once you like even Hayden Hurst leaving the Bengals like hurts my soul. Like I love that guy.
Yeah, he was a big deal for them.
He's my spirit animal, man. He's what I looked forward to in a game. Watching Hayden Hurst catch a 3-yard pass and spin that ball on that dude. That's what I loved. Like he's just had the energy. And then he tried to leap over people.
Yeah.
Now he's gonna be playing in Carolina. I don't know, man.
Another tight end moving. They're just shuffling the deck on tight ends.
Man.
Well, you think about like how bad fantasy tight ends performed this year across the board. Is this going to make a big difference on fantasy moving forward, or is it just going to be kind of the same?
I have no confidence in my tight end predictions right now. I'm still looking.
I don't think anybody does.
From Kyle Pitts.
I mean, Travis Kelce.
Cole Kmet.
Travis Kelce. He's a top 5 pick.
If Lamar Jackson's the quarterback, what's his name?
Mark
Andrews. He's number 2 all day.
So, scenario, Lamar lands in Atlanta. What does that mean for Pitts?
I'd say it's a pretty good idea, pretty good combo there. You have the most athletic tight end and the most athletic quarterback on the same team.
Well, and they got the was he USC receiver?
Drake London.
Yeah,
Drake London.
Yeah.
Didn't they sign somebody else too?
They just got they just traded for Johnny Smith at tight end.
And they got signed Jesse Bates.
I don't remember another wide receiver going there.
Either.
I know they got Heineke, but that don't matter.
Cincinnati needs to draft Bijan if he's available in the first round. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't mind that a bit.
He's not making it that far.
Well, he ain't getting there. But Cincinnati needs to draft a tight end.
Cincinnati, though, with Orlando Brown Jr. signing.
That's a good signing.
That was massive.
Also signed another one.
That's twofold massive because Mahomes loses him.
Yeah.
There's another one signed from the Bills, from the Bengals. I forget his name, but he signed from the Bills. He was one of their starting linemen. So Bengals snagged both new O-line signings from their AFC rivals. I don't hate it. My worry is that the back end of that defense is going to struggle.
Yeah.
When you're playing in the AFC against all the AFC quarterbacks, including what's probably going to be Aaron Rodgers in New York, you're going to need to back into your defense, and you're going to need some pass rush.
Defense isn't extremely strong anywhere.
No, pass rush is great. It's not great. The best thing about it is your interior D lineman. That's the best thing. And you got two of them. You don't have any depth.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's a long season. Long off season. We don't know. Whew.
What do you guys think of Lamar's situation? You think he's going to sit out this year in Baltimore unhappy? Nobody's giving him that guaranteed money. I think the league has proven that now.
I think it's a real bad look that Laramie Tunsil just reset the offensive line market and he was representing himself. But yet Lamar can't get anything done with the Ravens. I think it's not a good look.
Do you think it's about his representation? Or do you I think it's the guaranteed money. I think the owners are saying Cleveland is a bunch of dumbasses. Nobody should be given a contract like that, and we're not setting that as the standard. It's not happening.
Yeah. I think it's play style, and he's got a history of not playing every game every year.
100%.
And yeah, the guaranteed money in football is just ridiculous. So I think that's where people need to be realistic about. I always harp about this, but all these record-setting contracts are great, but somebody's got to pay for that. And that's going to be the people going to the games, watching the games. And I don't know about you all, but I pick the cheaper bread at the grocery store these days because everything's way more expensive. I'm tired of paying so much money just to, get something a little bit better. So I'm sure the Ravens are like, well, if we pay him $400 million guaranteed, we're not going to have anybody else. We're going to have to get the Sunbeam white bread at 42 cents, for the line. And I think that's where I think if he had an agent, he would probably have more realistic guidance given to him instead of him and his mom just saying, well, he got that. I'm better than him. Give me that. It's like, no, they're just idiots. It's not how it works.
And every organization is built differently too, in terms of salaries and the way they like to allocate, prioritizing positions and things like that. Obviously the Bears are not a very well ran organization, so you can't really base anything about the Bears. The Ravens know how to run a organization.
Talking Browns, Bears just made the trade of a lifetime, Frank. Can't throw them underneath the bus.
Did I say Bears or the Browns?
Yeah, you said Bears.
Well, I meant the Browns. That's my bad, bro.
I think the biggest negative he's had is, which I guess Tunsil had the same struggle, but it worked out for him. The league rules are built around players having representation.
Yeah.
So, there were so many deals done before Lamar could even talk to teams.
Yeah.
There was a legal tampering period for agents. They could not contact the players during that time, but they could contact their representatives.
And they could
Lamar did not have a representative. So there was an entire week where everybody else is going ahead and working out deals. They're hitting ESPN like, we'll sign on this date, and he's not even having conversations.
Mm-hmm. Really quick before we get off here, we're gonna, I've got a list of current free agents. They may have signed since this article released, but let me see when it was written. What is today? 18th?
19th.
This is just a couple days ago, so I doubt it's been updated. Dalton Schultz, tight end, still available. Bobby Wagner, Jadeveon Clowney, Odell Beckham. You've got Leonard Floyd, edge rusher. Melvin Ingram, edge rusher. Justin Houston. Again, Taylor Lewan, still available. Kyle Van Noy, Frank Clark. Those guys could be big additions to somebody's defense. A couple other tight ends. You still got Zeke Elliott waiting to sign for a new team. George Fant, veteran tackle. Quick plug, played basketball at Western Kentucky University.
Where's Zeke gonna go? What do you think?
I don't know.
I think he's gonna cherry pick that situation. I don't think he's gonna go to anybody fast. I think it's gonna be the right situation where he's gonna go play. He's gonna go on a deep playoff run.
Yeah, he has to.
I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him wait until weeks into the season before he's on a team.
Well, yeah, he's got to go to Cabo.
See where the injuries fall, save the wear and tear on himself, and then jump on a contender.
Sign with a contender, yeah. Miko Hardman, wide receiver available. Devin Singletary, solid number 2. Jarvis Landry, Julio Jones. Big name on here would be Kareem Hunt. Feel like Kareem Hunt could be a number 1 somewhere. Teddy Bridgewater as a backup. Another edge rusher, Carlos Dunlap, Bud Dupree, and Shaq Lawson. All 3 of those guys looking for new homes. Or they could re-sign with their current teams. Going down the bigger list, Dante Fowler currently playing in the XFL. Miles Jack, very talented receiver. Devin Bush.
Is Dante Fowler in the XFL? I didn't know that.
Is it Dante Fowler?
It could be. I just didn't.
It'd be wild if you're a free agent playing in the XFL. It's a
bold
move.
I feel like there was a double check me there. I don't know. Somebody. I want to say that. I want to say Dante Fowler is in the XFL. Got drafted, like high overall pick. I said Miles Jack already. Talented linebacker, Devin Bush. Another talented linebacker. Eli Apple. Anybody want Eli Apple? He's available. But anyway, there's a lot of talent there left over, man. A lot of talent. And a lot of talent. I'm just looking for the Bengals there. If you're looking for help on the defensive side of the ball,
I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, I might be wrong on that one. Hold on. Let me look. There's somebody that's similar name.
Hey, how about that game between the Wild and the Blues? 8-5? That was insane.
I lied.
You're talking about it. They lost in regulation. That's what you want.
The only thing that really was unfortunate, we had a goalie fight. Those are
and they
rare.
Stopped it.
They stopped it. Jordan Bennington, loved the guy. He's got all the fire in the world. Punched the dude in the face after he scored a goal on him. Absolutely hilarious. And the refs wouldn't let the goalies go at it. I mean, Jordan Bennington he's been wanting to fight ever since he's been in the league, 4 years now. They just won't let him do it. It's the only good thing about that game.
Vic Beasley was the name I was thinking of, not Dante Fowler. Vic Beasley.
Cole Beasley?
No. Vic Beasley?
All right.
Anyway,
I got one thing for you guys. I'm looking at this. Back on the quarterback conversation. Aaron Rodgers, $50 million. Russell Wilson, $49 million. Kyler Murray, $46,100,000. Deshaun Watson, $46 million. Patrick Mahomes, $45 million. Like, where, the Broncos and the Cardinals and the Browns, they screwed up. I think we can all agree with that. And I think, what do you think? Like, where would you say Lamar Jackson falls in on that?
In terms of talent?
No, just worth it. No, just worth it.
He's worth more than Russell Wilson.
He's worth more. So he's worth more than Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and Matt Stafford and
he's worth more than Dak. And he's worth more than Matt Stafford.
That's the problem right now. He's saying I'm worth more than Deshaun Watson,
and I believe he is.
But that isn't how it works.
No, it's not.
We didn't sign Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson isn't worth that to us. So we still value you more than him, but it doesn't mean it's going to be at that dollar. I think that's where the disconnect's happening. I think Lamar is, because of his health, he's probably closer to the back end of the top 10 in the NFL.
Yeah, so I mean, I would say give the man the Patrick Mahomes deal, $45 million. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I don't think it's the annual salary that they're concerned with. It's the
guaranteed money. Because he knows he may be injury prone, and if his career ends on some crazy godforsaken injury, he still gets paid.
Yeah,
and I don't blame him.
All I know is, for all you Packers fans out there, I hope y'all just heard me say that Aaron Rodgers is getting paid $50 million. Y'all about to get $50 million back once he goes to the Jets. Y'all should be very happy because y'all are going to go crazy.
You're going to have to wait a long time. It's not happening soon.
That's all right. But you can go get some guys.
There's some kind of language in the contract. I've heard him talking about it. If he's traded after June 1st, it saves the Packers like $28 million. So he's not going anywhere till then.
We're going to close the show out here with James, his comment. Just a statement. We're talking about the NFL and NCAA baseball or basketball, but another day of disappointing basketball as a UK fan. We already talked about that. It's kind of nice watching Mike Trout actually get to play meaningful baseball. Yeah, it's on my TV right up here.
They haven't mercied him yet?
I can't. I feel like the game's over. They're interviewing Mark DeRosa right now.
Yeah, it was like 13-2.
Anyway,
USA back in the championship, baby. Let's go.
Holly, if you hear me, Big Papa Pump. Trey Turner, shout out. Big game against Venezuela.
Big game tonight. Another home run tonight.
Another ding dong along. But anyway, I love the World Baseball Classic. It's kind of cool watching people represent countries, and it's like the Olympics of baseball.
Playing for countries they've never been in.
Hey, well, it's a technicality. It's all right. We all know if USA put their best players together, we're the best.
Chad Poe gave me a good comment on that. He'll have to drop it in here. And it's not something we'll share.
But anyway, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. Again, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, go do that now on YouTube at Trifecta Sports Podcast. We always have a good time doing this, but we're going to leave you guys with that for today. We're going to head to bed. Peace.